Not a bad way to wrap up the week here, guys. We have stocks hitting all-time highs, the S&P and NASDAQ, that is. We got pretty good labor market data, which we have to cover, and a bunch of stocks on my watch list are moving. So, guys, you know the drill. We're going to break down the charts, the market, stocks I'm looking at, and the labor data that we got earlier today. But first, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my free email stock newsletter if you guys want, and check out my Patreon for my real-time portfolio updates. All those links are down below. And with that being said, cheers, let's dive into it. So, like I said, stocks are ripping right now. The S&P and QQQ hit all-time highs. SPY hit, let's see, 626.08, and QQQ hit, let me pull it up quickly here, guys. We hit $557.20. So we are breaking out across the board, and the Dow and the Russell, you guys know, they've been lagging a bit. So the Dow is not yet near all-time highs, or actually, I mean, we're almost there. We didn't hit it today, but we actually haven't hit an all-time high at all in 2025. Think about that for the Dow Jones. Last all-time high was hit just over 45,000. That was back in December. Think about that. So off these lows here, we're now up about what? 8,000 points. 22%, and we're less than 300 points away now from all-time highs. We're about to hit them, and the Russell is, let's see, a good ways away. I mean, this thing has a little bit to go. I think the all-time high was hit, when was it? Years ago, right? Or no, we just hit a new one back in December, November. We hit 2466. Not bad. So we're about 200 points off highs on the Russell. So, yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good here, guys. And in my opinion, we'll cover this more in a second after we cover the labor market data. I think markets are getting a little too hot in the short term, especially SPY and QQQ. I think we could be heading for a pullback, maybe next week, maybe after this long weekend. I just think we're a little too hot, and we'll cover more of this in a second. But, man, SPY is super stretched above these moving averages on the 4-hour. Same with QQQ, and we really haven't seen a red day, a decent red day. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what's going on. I might need some water. But we haven't seen a red day in a little bit here, a decent red day. So I think it's coming. I think it's coming at some point next week. And with that being said, let me pull up this data that we got, or this report that we got. Make sure to hit the like button, guys, while I do this, and make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you all for tuning in, as always. So U.S. payrolls increased by 147,000 in June, more than expected, and a lot more than expected for that matter, guys. If I zoom in a little bit here, you guys can see non-farm payrolls increased a seasonally adjusted 147,000 for the month, higher. Let me get a little backcrack in here, guys. Higher than the 110,000 estimate, so a lot higher than the estimate, guys, for the month. And it was upwardly revised, let's see, from 144,000 in May. And today's, or April's tally, also saw a small upward revision up, or now at 158,000, following an 11,000 increase. So they revised these as the months go on, but it seems like, man, non-farm payrolls increased a lot more than expected. Again, 147,000, 110,000 was the expectation. And look at the monthly job creation in the United States. It's obviously come down over the last couple of years. These are from the last 3 years roughly, so it's come down. But over the last couple of months, it has been trending up, the monthly job creation, which is good. And the unemployment rate, listen to this, guys, the unemployment rate came in at 4.1%. It fell on the month, and that's the lowest since February, and under the forecast of 4.3%. So not only did the labor data come in better than expected, or the jobs, non-farm job data come in better than expected, unemployment rate fell as well, which is good. And this is, let's see, did it fall last month? I forget. Actually, I think it creeped up last month. Either way, looks like the labor force participation rate dropped to 62.3%, its lowest level since late 2022, owing to an increase of 329,000 of those not counted in the labor force. So let's come down here a little more. Anything else worth mentioning? U.S. wage growth. Let's see here, guys. U.S. wage growth year-over-year percent increase or change rather in average hourly earnings. That's gone. It's gone down pretty clear based on the chart here. And looks like here the U.S. job market continues to largely stand tall and sturdy, even as headwinds mount. But it may be a tent increasingly held up by fewer polls, wrote Corey Stahl, economist at Indeed Hiring Lab. And the headline job gains and surprising dip in unemployment are undoubtedly good news, but for job seekers outside of healthcare and social assistance, local government, and public education, the gains will likely ring hollow, right? That's what she's saying here. Cheers, by the way, guys. Yeah, I needed that. Oh, my God. But let's see. In related news, the labor market also reported Thursday that initial unemployment claims for the week ending June 28 fell to 233,000, a decline of 4,000, and below the estimate for 240,000. That's pretty good, guys. Pretty good, if you ask me. So that is the news from today, sending stocks higher, right? Part of the news that we got, at least. I'm sure there's a lot more things that we're leaving out here, but yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now, guys, and stocks are hitting all-time highs. But again, like I said earlier in the video, I think this is going to fizzle out. I think this rally, although I'm not bearish on the stock market at all by any means. I mean, I was buying the dip like crazy. If I was bearish, I would not have bought the dip about a month or two ago, or more than that, 3 months ago now. Time's flying, guys. But I'm not bearish, but I just think we need a pullback in the short term. And maybe we go a little higher on Monday, you know. Maybe it creeps up a bit more. But ultimately, I think we're going to follow that with a pullback, which will be healthy, and that's going to bring down other stocks, and hopefully that will make money or make my put options go up. I bought puts on SoFi and on Nike, which I'm holding on. Both of those, I'm down. I'm actually down more on the Nike puts. SoFi, I'm down like a couple percentage points. Last I checked, I was down 2%. It might be a little worse now. That was about an hour ago. Either way, I'm in these puts, and I think if we get a pull down in SPY QQQ, that's going to bring down, SoFi, Nike, a bunch of other stocks, but that's pretty much it. Pretty much it for the video here, guys. We do have a bunch of movers out there. No need to go too deep into these, but, OKLO's moving. What else is new? That's popping up. Enphase is moving as well. A little short-term rebound for Enphase. CrowdStrike also rebounding here, heading a fresh high. JP Morgan, which earnings are coming up soon. Earnings season's here, guys. JP Morgan in about a week, 2 weeks, they're reporting earnings. The stock's up today almost 2%, about to hit $300. Things are getting interesting, guys, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe for more content. Join the email stock newsletter. Check out the Patreon for my portfolio updates. All the links are down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.